If you search for Forex trading online, you'll see people trading from beaches and driving Lamborghinis and claiming that they can make thousands of dollars every single day from their laptop. But the truth is, most of what you see about trading online is either misleading or oversimplified or designed to sell you a dream. And that's one of the reasons why so many beginners lose money. The Forex market isn't magic, it isn't gambling, and it isn't a shortcut to wealth, but it's simply a financial marketplace built on very few clear principles. And if you understand those principles properly from the start, everything about trading suddenly becomes much easier to understand. So in this video, I'm going to give you the complete beginner's course on Forex trading. We're going to break down the whole thing from the ground up. And by the end of this video, you won't be a master trader, that takes time, but you will have a clear and honest foundation. You'll understand what the Forex market actually is, how currencies move, how traders really make money, and the single most important concept that separates profitable traders from everyone else. This is the starting point that I wish I had when I first began trading. So let's start with the basics. Part 1, what is the Forex market? Forex simply stands for foreign exchange. And the easiest way to think about it is a global marketplace where currencies are exchanged. It's essentially the world's largest money exchange bureau. Every time a company in one country wants to buy goods from another country, they need to exchange currencies. If a company in the UK buys products from Japan, it can't pay in British pounds, it needs Japanese yen. So it exchanges pounds for yen. And the same thing happens when you travel abroad. If you go on holiday from the UK to the USA, you exchange your pounds for US dollars. And this constant exchange of currencies for global trade, tourism, and investment is what creates the Forex market. All of those transactions happening around the world cause exchange rates to continuously move. And that's where traders come in. We're not exchanging currency because we need to buy goods from another country or anything like that. We're speculating on how those exchange rates will move. If we believe a currency will rise in value, we buy it. If we believe it will fall, we sell it. And the scale of this market is enormous. Over $7.5 trillion are traded in the Forex market every single day now. That's more than all of the world's stock markets combined by a long shot. And because of that massive volume, Forex is the most liquid market in the world. Now, liquidity simply means how easy it is to buy or sell something. In Forex, there's almost always someone willing to take the other side of your trade, which makes it extremely efficient. So in simple terms, the Forex market is a global marketplace for exchanging currencies, and traders aim to profit from the changes in those exchange rates. Part 2, how currency pairs work. In the Forex market, you never just buy one currency. Currencies are always traded in pairs. So let's take one of the most common examples, euro dollar. This represents the euro versus the US dollar. The first currency in the pair is called the base currency, and the second currency in the pair is called the quote currency. And the easiest way to understand this is imagine the base currency always equals 1 unit. So when you see euro dollar equals 1.0850, it simply means that 1 euro costs 1.0850 US dollars. That's it. It's just a price. When you place a trade, you're predicting whether that price will rise or fall. If you believe the euro will strengthen against the US dollar, then you buy the euro dollar. This is known as going long. If the price rises, then you make a profit. If you believe the euro will weaken against the dollar, then you sell the euro dollar, and this is known as going short. And if the price falls, then you profit from the difference. One important advantage of trading Forex is that you can make money whether the market goes up or down. You just need to be on the right side of the move. There are hundreds of currency pairs, but they all fall into 3 categories. First are the major pairs. Those include the US dollar, paired with other major global currencies like the euro, the British pound, the Japanese yen, the Swiss franc, the Aussie dollar. Pairs like euro dollar, pound dollar, and dollar yen, those are all majors. These account for the vast majority of trading volume. For beginners, these are the markets you should just focus on. They're the most liquid and usually the cheapest to trade. Next are the minor pairs, and they're also called cross pairs, and these are a combination of major currencies that don't include the US dollar. So for example, euro pound or Aussie yen. And then finally, you've got the exotic pairs. These involve a major currency paired with a currency from a smaller or emerging economy. So examples might include the dollar Tri or the dollar MXN. These tend to be much more volatile and more expensive to trade, so beginners usually are better off avoiding them entirely. What is a pip? Currency prices move in extremely small increments. To measure those movements, traders use something called a pip. A pip stands for percentage in point. For most currency pairs, a pip represents a movement in the 4th decimal place. For example, if the euro dollar moves from 1.0850 to 1.0851, that is a 1 pip move on that 4th decimal point. It might look tiny, but traders are constantly capturing these small movements. And over time, those movements add up. But this leads to something very important and very dangerous for beginners. Everything we've talked about so far is relatively straightforward, but this next section is where most new traders get into serious trouble. 3 words you need to understand are leverage, margin, and broker. Because currencies move in small increments, traders often control large positions, but most retail traders don't have hundreds of thousands of pounds available. So brokers offer something called leverage. Leverage allows you to control a large position with a relatively small amount of your own capital, a bit like a mortgage. For example, with 100-to-1 leverage, a trader with £1,000 could control a £100,000 position. Now this sounds attractive because it magnifies potential profits, but it also magnifies losses. A small move against your position could wipe your entire account out very, very quickly. And this is exactly how many beginner traders lose money. Professional traders treat leverage very, very carefully, and amateurs treat it like a lottery ticket. When you use leverage, the broker requires a deposit, and that's called margin. Margin is simply collateral. It's money that the broker sets aside from your account to open the trade. And if the trade moves against you and your account equity drops too low, you receive something called a margin call. And if losses continue, the broker might even close your positions automatically. And that process is called a stop out. And that's how accounts get wiped out. The broker is the company that gives you access to the trading platform. They provide leverage, the price feed, and the infrastructure that allows you to trade. And it's important to understand something. Brokers are a business. They're businesses. Their goal is to make money. And most make money through spreads and commissions. Now there's some others that operate as market makers, meaning that they take the opposite side of your trade. And in simple terms, when you lose money, they profit. So you want to be wary of that. And that's why choosing a reputable broker is incredibly important. I did a whole video dedicated to just that. So go and watch that after this one. Now let's look at the thing that traders spend most of their time looking at, the price chart. The most common chart type is candlestick chart. Each candlestick represents a specific period of time. For example, on the 1 hour chart, each candle represents 1 hour of trading activity. Every candle shows 4 pieces of information: the open price, the close price, the highest price, and the lowest price during that time period. The thick section is called the body. The thin lines above and below are called the wicks or the shadows. If the candle closes higher than it opened, it's usually colored green. If the candle closes lower than it opened, it's usually colored red. And when you place these candles together, you form a visual story of the battle between buyers and sellers. Charts can represent different time frames. So you can look at monthly charts, daily charts, hourly charts, or even 1-minute charts. And a common mistake beginners make is focusing on very small time frames. Professionals tend to start with higher time frames and understand the broader trend. Then they zoom into those lower time frames to find entry points. That's known as a top-down approach, and it helps provide context, but it's a bit advanced. You don't want to start there. When it comes to analysis, there's 2 main ways that traders analyze the market. There's technical analysis and fundamental analysis. Now, technical analysis focuses on price charts. Technical traders, they study patterns, trends, and areas like support and resistance. And the idea is that all information is already reflected in the price. I've done tons of videos on this, which you can go and watch. Fundamental analysts look at the economic forces behind currency moves, things like interest rates or inflation or employment data and economic growth. Professional retail traders often are strong in technical analysis, and they just use fundamentals to complement their decisions. Fundamentals explain why markets move. Technicals help identify when and where to enter trades. Now we've come to the single most important concept in trading, and that is risk management. The biggest difference between profitable traders and losing traders isn't strategy, it's how they manage risk. Amateurs focus on how much they can make. Professional traders focus on how much they can lose. Your goal as a trader should be to operate like a casino. A casino doesn't know the outcome of the next hand, but it knows that over thousands of hands, it has a mathematical edge. Traders work the same way. I did a whole video on how to develop your edge and think like a casino, which you can go and watch here. Highly recommend you go and check that out. A simple rule many traders follow is never risking more than 1% of their account on any single trade. If you have £10,000 account, that means risking no more than £100 per trade. That protects your capital. Even a long losing streak won't destroy your account easily. A stop loss is an automatic order that closes your trade if price reaches a certain level. It enforces your risk limit. Trading without a stop loss is like driving without brakes. Eventually something is going to go very wrong. Finally, traders aim for a favourable risk to reward ratio. For example, risking £100 to make £200. That means you don't have to win most of the time to be profitable. Over many trades, the mathematics work in your favour. If you're just starting out, the most important thing you should do is not trade real money immediately. Open a demo account, practice with virtual capital, treat it seriously, use proper risk rules, start building a simple plan. You can go and watch this video here to check out how to build a trade plan, and record every single trade you take. This process is how real traders develop skill. Trading is not a shortcut to wealth. It is a professional skill, and like any skill, it takes time to learn. But if you start with the right foundation, focus on the process rather than the outcomes, and manage risk properly, trading can become an extremely powerful tool. Your goal isn't to win the next trade, it's to build a process that works over the next 1,000 trades. That's where real consistency in trading comes from. Now, if you want to learn how professional traders build strategies around these concepts, I've put together much deeper training on this channel, which you can access in the description. I've put every single video in order in which you should go and check these videos out after watching this one. And by the end of that, you'll have a phenomenal education on its own. So let me know what you think of this. Keep me up to date with your trading journey, and I'll see you in the next one.